I admit, it's a little strange doing a travel backpack review during this lockdown, but I treat it as something like days to look forward to once this is all over. So anyway, a company called Initech reached out to me asking if I would like to try their travel backpack. I actually just recently reviewed Pack's travel backpack, which I love, and it's basically going to be my default backpack if I should travel to a different country maybe, or spend a few nights somewhere. But then it got me thinking, what if I were to go on a short trip, like maybe for a day or two? I probably don't need a bag that's as big as the Pack backpack. So I said yes. And so in preparation for this video, I started Googling the company just to try to find out who they are and what products they actually make. And an odd thing popped up. It seems like their main product are barcode scanners. Did a little bit more of digging and found their Amazon store, which is cool because they have a pretty decent amount of ratings. But then they have products everywhere. They have backpacks, they have pouches, they have dongles, they have barcode scanners, and it just made me feel a little bit more iffy with this backpack that they're trying to sell. You know that saying, when you spread yourself too thin? Yeah, I got that feeling. But anyway, I was still curious, and of course I said yes, so they did send me their backpack, which is this one. So, first impressions. Well, to be honest with you, they were just kind of meh. But as I kept scrutinizing it, I found that I liked the materials that they used. Lots of padding on this backpack kind of enforces the notion that it is comfortable. So here it is. The aptly named Initech Laptop Business Travel Backpack, BP 03002 Black. I'm not kidding. It has a 30-liter capacity and made out of a material that's scratch, abrasion, and splash resistant. Okay, so I'm not really that good at describing materials using words, so what if I let you listen to it instead? Whether that worked or not, I'll probably find out later in the comments. And if it didn't, I apologize for unnecessarily caressing the bag, if that was uncomfortable. Anyway, moving on. External dimensions of this bag is actually just right for my size. Compartments inside are adequate. It can fit up to a 15.6-inch laptop, and the dividers are nicely padded. You can unzip the main compartment to fully open the bag for easier packing. They've even included a toiletry pouch built into the bag, which is nice. I just wish you could detach it somehow. Outside, you'll find 2 additional compartments for your go-to items. The zippers on both back straps are nice. You can fit a card or 2 inside or cached in the other one. And the sternum straps can be adjusted. You get another compartment for sensitive items such as your passport, and you also get a luggage handle pass-through. The hand straps are thickly padded and easy to grab. You also get this expandable water bottle holder. So far, this backpack is shaping up to be actually pretty good, but there are a couple of things that I'm not a big fan of. Basically, there's a lot of these going on, like the dangling things. There's really no solution to kind of hide them. Next is this water bottle holder. I like the design. I like that you actually have one. I just don't understand why they put it on this side right next to the strap. Because if you have a water bottle here, it's basically getting in the way of the handle. Like, look at this side. There's nothing here. So I was wondering, maybe they should have just put the water bottle holder here. I'm not a big fan of very obvious branding. So like this one, it's not bad. It's just that it's made out of this shiny metal, and I don't know, it just draws too much. I just don't like branding it's that obvious. Also, I wish they had some sort of compartment that's right on top that I can just unzip and easy to put some stuff in, instead of this one right here in the front. It's not too bad. It's just I've had, my Peak Design has one right here. My other cheap bag has one. Even the Pack travel backpack has one. I know design is very subjective, but I don't really understand why they had this zipper in the front at an angle. It looks really awkward when it's full because but again, these are personal preferences. And if you really think about it, they're pretty minor considering the features that this bag has, especially at this price point. So maybe it's not perfect for me, but that doesn't mean that it's not a good backpack. I like the comfort and the weight. It's light enough, yet it's also padded enough to keep all my items perfectly safe. The grab handles are actually nice, and according to Initech, they do a durability test by having it vibrate 1,000 times while carrying a 20-kilogram load. So in theory, it should hold up. As I mentioned earlier, physical dimensions is actually just right for me. Internal storage and capacity is also adequate. I mean, I could pretty much take most of my tech stuff and a couple of articles of clothing if I were to go on a day trip or two. And honestly, I do like the design, except for that angled zipper and that branding, but I can get over it. So overall, this bag is actually shaping up to be pretty good. But what makes it even better is the price. This bag is priced at around $60. To compare that to the Peak Design Everyday Backpack, which I have and I absolutely love, that backpack costs about 4 times more. I know, people are going to say the Peak Design one is specifically made for photographers to carry camera gear. I agree, but it's also sold as an everyday backpack, which I've used. I pretty much use it as a very expensive tech bag. And I'm probably not the only one who's going to say this, but the Peak Design one isn't the most comfortable backpack to carry around. Don't get me wrong, I love Peak Design. I love all their products. But then it got me thinking, how much are we willing to pay for an item's premiumness? This might look oddly familiar to you. Yes, it's a tech pouch, and yes, it has an accordion-style divider inside. But no, this isn't by Peak Design. This is actually from Initech. The materials are softer than what you would find in the bag, but according to them, it's still water repellent and weatherproof. The zippers are really smooth to open and close, really nice. The interior is made out of soft lycra to protect the items inside from collision and friction. And yeah, you can fit a lot of things in here, actually much more than I was expecting. While the Peak Design Tech Pouch offer an external zip pocket with a cable pass-through for charging, this doesn't. But this one also costs $26 compared to Peak Design's $60 tech pouch. So final thoughts. I can put my usual tech stuff in here, including my MacBook Pro and my iPad Pro and a couple of other tech accessories, especially using the tech pouch. A few articles of clothing for a trip that'll last maybe a day or two. It meets the size regulation for carry-on luggage. Under full load, it does sag a little bit, not like the Peak Design, which keeps everything nice and tight, but these compression straps actually do help. So I wasn't really expecting to like this backpack as much, I'll be honest with you. But with the way this thing is priced, I feel like you get a lot of features that you would from a backpack that costs a fraction of a premium backpack. And so I actually posed this question on Instagram asking people how they would define a product's premiumness. The answers that I got were really insightful, as the definition of premium does vary from person to person. But I think the key takeaway is it boils down to the whole experience, from customer service to the materials that they use, the design and usability, and of course, brand recognition, which Peak Design, they just have it all. So I have no questions about it. Initech, they're not really quite there yet, especially because they're kind of all over the place. They don't really have a specific target like Peak Design. But to offer something this good at this price point, I think that's pretty commendable. So this Initech Travel Backpack BP03002 Black may not strike you as a premium item, especially at $60, but you sure won't feel bad for buying one. And this is why this is my new tech bag. Thanks again for watching. I'll catch you guys again real soon.